So my dear learners, how are you all? I hope you are all well, and I am back again with a new topic, and today's topic is class 10th writing skills. So this writing skill is entirely new because CBSE has made certain changes in your writing skill sections, and CBSE has introduced a new topic which is analytical paragraph writing skills. So earlier in your syllabus there was story writing that carries 5 marks. This story writing has been replaced by your analytical paragraph writing skills. So now you have to practice how to write analytical paragraph, and this paragraph is based on the given chart. Chart could be any kind of chart. It could be a pie chart, it could be a bar graph, it could be a given data, it could be a given queue, and so on and so forth. So like you are class 10th student and in mathematics section you have studied about pie chart, bar graph. So you will be given data in the form of pie chart or bar graph or in any other forms, and you have to analyze it. And in English writing section you need to write. In mathematics you just analyze it and write answers questions, but here you have to describe it, describe the graph. So what will the word limit for description? So word limit is 100 to 120 words, and you will be given choice. So there will be 2 questions, out of which you need to do 1 question. So let's discuss what are the basic features of this, how to write this paragraph. Now, what are the important things that we need to bear in our mind so that we can write a full marks obtaining paragraph. Okay, so let's concentrate on the features. So describe the given chart, table, data, graph, queues, etc. This is what you need to do. Okay, now it should be brief and comprehensive at the same time. So it should be brief, it should not be very lengthy, but at the same time it should be comprehensive. That means it must include every information that is required or that is given in your chart or data. Okay, so it is called comprehensive. Comprehensive means you should not leave out the important information and try to make it brief. It should be brief, but it should be comprehensive without leaving out any important information, right? It should state facts that are provided by the chart. What does it mean? It should state the fact that is provided in the chart or in the graph. So you should not put your own idea or your own input. Okay, you should just describe whatever is given in the chart or in the graph. Okay, next point is it should mention figures and quantities appropriately. So whatever figures are given here, you should mention it. You should not make changes into it. Okay, so suppose it is 5%, it's given about 5% boys and 5% girls. So you are not supposed to make changes into it. You should present whatever quantities or whatever amount is given in your graph. Okay, it is appropriate to use the same tense throughout the paragraph. Very important feature, that when you are writing an analytical paragraph you should use the same tense. Suppose you have started writing paragraph in present tense, so you should go in present tense throughout the paragraph. Okay, so you must stick to the tenses that you have started writing in. It should be preferable to use the passive voice form of the verb. Okay, so like passive voice form of the verb you need to use, not active voice of the form of the verb. Okay, so like no, it is given in the graph or it is given in the paragraph. So what is, I am using the passive voice tense. Okay, we will discuss it further as we move on in the further discussion. So now moving further on, let's discuss the format of analytical paragraph. So what format should we adopt to write analytical paragraph? Okay, so basically this whole paragraph can be divided into three parts. Okay, first part is introduction. So what are you going to write in introduction? So in introductory part, you need to explain in 1 or 2 lines the subject given in the paragraph. Subject given in the paragraph means what? Whatever is paragraph about. Suppose paragraph is about about the TV viewership in India in different age category. So what are you going to write? That the given pie chart, because this is pie chart. So the given pie chart discusses about the TV viewership in different age categories in India. Okay. Then in the body of the paragraph, you are going to give the details, whatever detail is presented in the graph or pie chart. Okay. So in introductory part, you are going to simply write the introduction, the subject matter of the chart or the table. So these are the things pertaining to different chart or table. Like you can write the chart given above describes blah blah blah. The table suggests that, the above pie chart states that, the pie chart illustrates that. So different vocabulary you can use according to different table and different charts given. Okay, so these are for variation, bringing variation in your writing. So the introductory part should include hardly 1 or 2 sentences. So next major part is the body of the paragraph. So body of the paragraph is what you are going to put elaborate description in. So it should contain the details of the paragraph or chart given in the question. Details, complete details you are going to provide in this body part. It should contains all the important information. Whatever information your graph or your chart gives you, you are going to describe those things. Okay. You can also open the sub paragraph. It is required. Change the paragraph, and suppose there is contrast. Okay, so contrast presented in the graph or in the chart. So in first paragraph you will write about the one thing, and in next paragraph you will write about the another thing, the contrast part. Then the use of connector is important. Connector means there must be contrast, there must be transition in the sentences. Okay, so accordingly we have to use connectors like moreover, however, but, still, yet. Okay, these are the connectors. So these are the word you need to use in the body paragraph. Okay, so let's move on to the practical questions that we are supposed to be asked in our examination of class 10th board or your final examination of class 10th on English paper. So the real question looks like this. The pie chart shows the proportion of people from different households living in poverty in the UK in 2002. So this is the pie chart. Okay, and this pie chart shows the proportion of people. So these are the percentage or proportion of the people who are living in poverty in the UK in 2002. So these are the proportion of the people from different household, okay. So in introductory part, what we are going to write is that the given pie chart illustrates the 7 different categories of household living in the UK in 2002. Now in the body part, it is clearly evident from the pie chart that what is clearly evident from the pie chart, we need to analyze the pie chart here. So it is clearly evident from the pie chart that, pick up this data, the sole parents that or who accounts for 26% of the population under poverty ठीक है, 26%. Now 26% is followed by 24%. So continuing this line, we can write poverty followed by the single people without children who accounts for 24% of the poverty stricken population. Hope this should be clear to you. So we have presented two data here. Okay, we can present other data also. That means we can describe other data also. So we can pick up this and this. So this is 9% couple without children, and this is 15% couple with children. So there is sharp contrast between these two. So we can write in contrast to, pick up this one, couple without children, in contrast to couple without children who accounts for just 9%, comma, now we are going to present the data of this, ठीक है, just 9%, the couple with children constitute 15% of population under poverty. Okay, so here we have compared these two data and described in our analytical paragraph. So this is done. So now we are going to write the conclusion part. So what are we concluding from this graph? So our conclusion is, what word we are going to write? Overall. So overall we can say that, what overall we can say that 14% all household is living under poverty stricken condition. That 14% of all household in the UK was living in the poverty stricken condition, full stop. Moreover, look, this is 5%, this is 7%, that constitute aged couple. So if we compare the poverty stricken population of the younger couples compared to the aged people, so what we are finding, we will find that the younger generation are more in poverty stricken condition compared to their aged counterparts. So what we can write in conclusion, overall the 14% of all households were living in poverty stricken condition, full stop, and the younger generation constitute more population of poverty stricken people compared to their aged counterpart. Okay, in this way we can conclude it. So I hope everything would be clear to you. Do practice on different questions, pick up questions and try to write the method discussed with you in this lecture, and I hope you will get through it and will secure a good marks. This is 5 marker, and I hope you will all secure 5 out of 5 marks on this question. So I will meet with you in my next lecture. So if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and share it with your friends. So Let's meet in our next lecture. See you. Bye bye.